God, it's a funny feeling knowing that you're definitely going to miss all the greens. Hi guys, welcome back. So this week I'm going to do a quick vid, a 9-hole playing vlog, and on this one I'm going to try and highlight the short game. Now what I'm going to do is I'm playing the shorter course here at the Players Club here down in Bristol. We're on the Stranahan, which is the shorter course, and I'm not going to focus so much on my long game. I'll put all the shots in anyway to see how we get on, to try and make it as real as possible. But I'm going to kick it off of every green. The greens I hit, I'm going to move it to the nearest point of relief and then drop it, and then we'll see what kind of how important the short game is, maybe for the better players, but also for everybody, because the short game, as we're going to find out I'm sure, is absolutely crucial. There's one thing hitting a lot of greens, but really it's about the greens that you miss, because we all miss some, and I'm going to miss them all today, so that should be fun. So we'll see how we get on. It's the first hole, 104 yards, nice little short one to start off with. Hoping to get it close, but it doesn't matter how close I get it, because I'm going to kick it off anyway. So anyway, here we go. Good luck to me. Lovely little first hole, over the water, 104 yards. So the last video was a pretty long one, due to the fact that I was trying my hardest to show that all the shots were real. I'll probably not do anything like that today. I'm just going to hit the shots, hopefully get them fairly close. The first one's about 8 foot, and see what happens with the short game. I'll talk you through each chip shot and what I'm thinking, what I'm trying to do, because they're all actually very different, and each individual circumstance, lie, maybe where the pin is, affects what we try and do with the short game. Anyway, so here's our first one. Pin high at the back of the green. Weight was good, 104. It's kind of what I hit my 54 degree, about 100 yards. But unfortunately, we've got to kick this one off of the green. My nearest point, because of this over here, probably going to be this little fluffy area here. So let's just kick it off there, and I'll play my shot from here. Okay, I'm not sure you can see me with this one. I've got the lie's obviously pretty good. This is apron. You could almost putt this, but I'm going to try and chip them all. This is a small piece of green here that I've got, but it's nice and flat. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this section, and I'm going to try and pitch it around here with it just to roll up fairly close. This is a nice straightforward one. Okay. That was straightforward. I'm hoping most of these to be quite easy. That one's a tap in. There you go. It's 3 on the first. So that's an easy start hole for me. I would always expect to make 2 or 3 there. It's a very short first hole. But as you can see, there was a bit of thought process. It was a fairly straightforward chip, but the more you build this picture in your mind into what you want to do with the chip shot, the better chance you've got of delivering the shot that you're after. If you just get up to it and think, oh, I'll just sort of chip it up there somewhere, sometimes that works, but just put a little bit of thought into how high the ball's going to go. Sometimes maybe how much spin might be on it, whether it's going to be lofted, which part of the green it's going to land on, and what it's going to do on that part of the green. Maybe it's a down slope or an up slope, and often it's dictated by the lie. So everything starts with looking at the lie and seeing what the lie is like first, which can dictate whether you can sort of get the club underneath it and hit it higher, or whether you've got to kind of do a little low chip and skid it up the green. All these things to think about. And it makes it fun as well, because when you do actually hit the shot that you wanted to, it's a great sense of achievement. Anyway, onto the second here. So this one, I've just hit a 7 on off the tee, just to leave me the 100 yards in that I need. It's 91 yards. There's a little bit of a downslope here. So 91, I got to take a little bit off the 54. Doesn't matter how close I get, because I'm going to knock it off the green anyway. So the pin's right on the back of this one. It was 91 yards, just slightly downhill, and I hit pretty much a 100-yard shot. So I am just over the back of this green. So with the project, it's going to help, because I don't feel so bad about kicking it off the back. But this is a really bad miss. You wouldn't want to miss long here. I'll show you why. So pins on the back. Mine's pitched about there, and it's gone there. So there we go. Nice little chip shot up this steep slope onto here. Right, so it's lying quite well. It's a horrible shot though. So I'm off up slope, and it goes quite. There's a lot of elevation to this top, and it's a back pin position. So it's a terrible miss from me. But we're going to need, even though we're on this upslope, quite a floating shot here. Now it's quite easy when you are off an upslope to either jab it into there and hit it, skin it out a bit low, and it's hard for strike. So my advice on this one, because we're going to have to use some loft, is to try and get our shoulders in line with the slope, so we don't cut into the slope. Does that make sense? So our shoulders are going to be in line, so we're still going to sweep the ball, but because we're off an upslope, we're going to sweep it. We're going to have to give it a little bit extra, because it's going to go very high anyway. Normal shot. See if I can just float it up there. It's going to land stop pretty quick. That's pretty good. Try and show you the result of that one. There you go. So we had this area to land on. It was always going to stop pretty quick, so I wasn't worried about that. I didn't really want to lose control of it and go down there. That's why this height is quite important. Now it's a funny thing, when I hit a lob shot, I always come out about halfway, about here, so there's the bag down there, and there's the flag over there. I always come out to this point and I look up in the air and try and visualize how high we're going to go. It kind of gives you an idea of how hard you're going to have to hit it. So you come here and you look out and you look at where it's going to land, how high it's going to go, and it gives you a good idea then of the sort of tempo that you're going to have to feel. Because sometimes when you're down at the bottom here, you're just thinking you're hitting it quite hard and it's only coming about this high. Well, it doesn't. It jumps up around this height. Sort of just a nice thing that I've always done. See if we can knock this putt in and save par. That's a straightforward putt. No problem. Okay, so that's 2 out of 2 up and downs. It's going well so far. And I actually did miss that green, so I didn't have to kick that one off. 404 yards. No trouble really, so I'm just going to hit a driver out there. Off a bit of a hanging lie, got 103 yards. Pulled it a bit left, so I'm not on the fairway. Pushed it just a little bit off that slope. God, it's a funny feeling knowing that you're definitely going to miss all the greens. A bit disconcerting, you know. This course I expect to only miss a couple of greens at the maximum. That one's okay. I pushed it a little bit to the right. Looks like it's about pin high-ish. There you go. I'm going to have to kick that one off to the nearest point, so it's going to be short of this green. Straightforward putt though. Sorry, straightforward chip. What am I saying? Here's the shot we've got. It's kind of straightforward. Obviously the lie's fine. Hopefully we get some messy ones later. Not sure you can see this. There's a little bit of an incline here, and then it flattens off around here over to the hole. And if we look at it from this side as well, it's always good to check it out from all angles. And that just confirms that we've got a little bit of break from right to left, and that we have a bump that I want to be carrying about here. So we've got to carry it this far. So all these things I'm thinking about. I'll stick this on here. I'm doing my chip shot. I'm going to hit it from here. I want to be a medium height and land it around here. I have to carry this bump at the sort of shot I'm doing. I could play a lower shot and run it up the bump, but I think I'll be better off in this instance just carrying that little bump there. That's pretty good. Okay, so that's an up and down. So, God, I'm playing terrible. I've missed all the greens, but I'm still level par. It just shows, doesn't it? Now we've got a par 5 next, so if I can get near this green, into or on it. Oh no, if I go on it, I've got to take it off, haven't I? Anyway, if I can get down there, chip and a putt for birdie, I can get one under. So as you can see, really, I'm not sure what you guys are like back at home with your short game to chip in, but you can see how crucial it is, because I would expect on average to have at least maybe 4 or 5 of those type of chip shots around. That's assuming I'm going to miss 4 or 5 greens, which is really easy to do, obviously, depending on what course you're playing on. Right, what have we got here? There we go. Kind of a short par 5, 486. It's playing into the wind today. See if we can get down there somewhere handy. Ooh, that's a long one. Okay, 207 yards left, so I hit that one well. It's into the wind, so 207. I'm going to hit a 3-iron and try and get it somewhere handy near the green. So that was a bit of a rubbishy. Ball was above my feet. I've pulled it. I pulled it pretty badly. I think it might. Hopefully it's short of the bushes on the left. There is a bunker down here. I'm not sure whether it's ground under repair. We'll have a look. Perhaps I'll play out of it anyway. I don't know. But either way, I'm not dropping it off this green. I've got kind of like an official chip shot, having missed the green, but it is a par 5, so I've got some room to manoeuvre. So this one, I've stopped, I've bounced just on the top there and run down. This is the green, so obviously it's a par 5, so I'm chipping now to try and make the birdie, so I still want to get up and down. It's not the best of lies, it's on a down slope. We've got a bunker here, and if you can see down by the green, let's go and have a look. So down here, that's the bunker that was GUR, which is all right. Now I would walk down to the green. I mean, this is probably, I don't know, 20 yards maybe. So I'm now looking at the green because we want to know what's up here. There's a sprinkler head there which has got quite a lot of undulation around it, so I don't want to deal with that. We've got a slope going up here onto like a little plateau, and I'm thinking even from 20 yards you may as well picture it. You don't have to take all day, but I'm thinking where I'd like my putt to be, and from what I can see I'd like to be past the hole around this area, putting back up. There's my ball over there by the bag, you can see it. So I'm thinking I'm going to chip it fairly low onto this slope and try and run it up just past the flag. I mean, it'd be nice if it went in, but that would just be too good to be true, but we'll try. Here we are, just here for 2. Let's dump you down there. Right. Okay, yeah, so from here I can see the slope, but I know exactly what's happening down there. I can feel where all the bits are. I know how far I'm trying to go. Let's try and get an online, medium height. Okay, right, so that wasn't horrendous, but it wasn't my best shot. I pitched it just a little bit too short. But can you see where I was focusing? I didn't even really look at the bunker. I was completely focused on the green where it was going to go. This is where we are. We got that for birdie. So I'll bob you down here. See if we can hole it. It looks pretty straight. I think my birdie was really because my second shot wasn't very good, but that's a shame because I know that I'm not, unless I do some chip-ins, which are obviously a little bit doubtful. It's gonna be hard to make birdies out here now, but I've got got two more par fives to go, so I could birdie those two. However, at this point now I'm level par, so felt like a drop shot then. Could have been a birdie. 359. That was okay. It was bang on line, but a little bit short. I struck it okay, just got my distance a little bit wrong. I'm on the green, of course I've got to kick it off. Now, I'm thinking, because a lot of these chip shots are just fairly simple chip shots, I'll try and shake it up a bit in a minute and give myself something a little bit more difficult. This one, as you can see, if I pull that back off the green, and it's almost like a putt. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it up on this slope on the left here, so it's slightly more difficult. That's where it went. Let's just say we missed the green up here somewhere. Slight down slope. Now this looks tricky. Obviously here's my shot. Hopefully you can see that that's a big old slope down to this here. Now with this one, we've got 2 or 3 ways of playing it. We can kind of putt it, which is a very good idea. I would probably recommend you putting it. Now the thing that I don't like about putting so much is that I'm not 100% sure what it's going to do down here. So I'm thinking I'm going to chip it about this height and it's going to land here. Now as long as I've pitched it on here, as long as I get the right height, it can only really run this last 8 foot. So as long as my objective is to pitch it on here, if it comes out here and it pitches there, it's never really going to go too far long. And also, if I slightly duff it, it's still going to bounce on here and it's going to run out. If I catch it a little bit thin, or let's say if I catch it a bit hot, it's going to check up because it's going to land here. So I've got those 3 options now. I've got the duff that's going to run down, because if it just makes the front edge of this green, I'm 12 foot away. That's fine. If I pitch it back here, it's going to run out and I'm 12 foot away. If I just run it past a little bit, that's no big deal either. So that's what I'm going to try and do. The putt here, obviously you wouldn't take this much time over it normally, but a quick look, you normally get used to what you're going to do and what you're not going to do. A putt would be nice if I'm just short actually, so I'm going to try and just stop it just chip it there, and hopefully it's going to go close enough that I can just kick it in. But I'll leave the camera running. I hope that made sense, my workings. So I'm now over the shot and I'm thinking that I want to get it about this height to land it past the slope. See if I can do it. Because it's slightly on a down slope, again I'm gonna put my weight, try and make my weight even, which is gonna make it a little bit towards this side. I'm gonna get my shoulders square as well to this actual down slope, and I'm just gonna play it like a normal shot. That's pretty much, there you go, that's what I said. And it pitched here and it just ran out. It was the right kind of height and it ran out to there. So hopefully you kind of got another par. So that was tricky. I mean, I would have actually been just here and it would have been a dead simple shot. But from up here you can see that I just want to carry the slope. If I duffed it, it would have been fine. If I chipped it well, it was fine. All angles, I was never going to be outside of about probably 6 foot. But it took all that mental working out to try and get it to that position. I actually played it quite well in the end. I appreciate this is in the winter, so the greens are a little bit softer. But you can make those decisions over each shot. And these are some of the workings that I do every single time. But I do it a lot faster. Obviously I walk up, I'm used to kind of working these things out, so you get very quick at it after a while. We're lucky so far that all the lies have been okay. I've not been any deep rough or anything, but we might be later. I'm not sure. Here you go. Next hole. Okay, 131, just a hold off wedge. Well, hopefully this is like interesting. It's quite a good exercise to do because you hit lots of chip shots and it can give you confidence. This is where I am. Just made it to the top of that hill. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to kick this one off over here. Just get my pitch mark. So we've got another downhiller. Right, same process. This is actually a very similar shot to what we had before. I'm going to come and have a look just to see how far the distance is between the ball and the area. I'm doing a little look to see with a sort of flight. I'm trying to visualize the height and the flight of the ball. Again, I don't have to land it here. I think I'm going to land it more up here. And I'm looking at the hole. We've got a roll off here that we don't want to go down there. Like the miss here is to the right, not to the left. So I'm also looking at like the left side and where it's going. Obviously you're landing it onto a surface, so you really want to look at that surface you're landing it onto, because it will kick it one way or the other if you've got like a bit of a problem. And this one is going to kick it off this way. So I'm now thinking, as long as I chip it straight on the line, it's going to kick off to the right, and that's going to be a fine place to kind of hopefully hold a putt back. It's almost the same as last time, but the lie's okay. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to try and just hit like a gentle chip shot and land it just to the right of my start line is the plan. Not too difficult again, because if I duff it, it's going to go close. That's pretty good. That's not bad. Just so I can get on, I give myself that, but it's pretty close. Like we said, it landed here and it kicked off just a little bit. See if I can. Yeah. Okay. So that's another par. This is what we got left. It's nice here. When I was saying in the last video about finding those shoots to kind of get you extra yardage. This is one of those holes, very dependent on where you hit it is how far it kicks on. We're about here. Right, this will be interesting because I know there's a big hump in this green and I've actually hit it a little bit short there. Could have hit it a bit further. It was on line, but it's just a bit short, and there's a big hump that I've kind of landed on top of. Normally you just want to try and get over that hump and it kicks on close. So I'm already thinking, what am I going to do here? As I'm walking down to the green, I can see there's a few issues. This one's pretty tricky actually. This is a tricky miss, as you can see here. It's landed on this hump going up here, and we're just there. And we're going to put it back here. Tricky little shot, and one that can be, there's no bail on this one. As you can see there, we are going to go, it starts with a little down slope here, and then this is the hump I'm talking about that goes up onto the top, and then it goes downhill towards the pin. Really tricky shot. I can try and eliminate some of it by playing a higher shot. I don't really want to bump into that bank, so I don't know what it's quite going to do. So I can see that the green's running from left to right, right to left from this angle, but left to right from up there. And I can see roughly the area that I would like to hold a putt from is maybe, yeah, anywhere to this left kind of segment of the hole. It's going to break down off this slope a little bit. I'm not sure you can see that, but it's kind of breaking this way because of the slope. Real nasty one. I don't want to pitch it into this one. Some people might expect a bump and run from here, but I don't like this slope very much. I'm not sure what it's going to do, where it's going to check, it's going to kick on. And there's a hump here, I'm not sure you can see it. I think for me, I'm going to try and hit a higher shot, pitch it around here, and let it release out. And if I go past the hole, then I'll be in that little spot there I don't mind trying to have a putt from. Let's see how we go. Yeah, I've got to pitch it over halfway. It's quite a tight lie. So I'm going to throw it sort of quite high, be aggressive and throw it high because I don't mind rolling past. Let's give it a go. Okay, well that's gone long. That's not one of my best. I knew it was a tricky one. I've now got to try and hold a putt tonight. I don't want to go over par really because the birdies are hard to come by, but this is what I did. It came out a bit skiddy, but it ran through to an area where I could make this putt. Let's stick you guys down there. Well, that was got away with that. It's quite an easy putt in the end. But the good thing about that was the fact that I knew where the easy putt was. Past the hole, slightly long, as I said before I hit the shot, was the miss, and it was a dead straight putt. You know, no problems. Kept the camera going to make sure you guys don't think I'm cheating. No point doing that anyway. Okay, on to the 8th. This is a tricky one. This is now a tricky par 3. This was 216. I'm going to hit a 4-iron, which is a good 30 yards longer than I expect to hit this, but we're downwind, so I'm hoping we'll be good. The pin's at the back, so if I miss short, it's okay. We can talk about a long bump and run chip shot. I'll see if I can get it on the green. That wind really did help. That's kind of like probably a 20-yard wind, and it doesn't seem that much, but when you get up there, it's surprising what wind does to your ball. So I'm on the green. It's going to be tricky, this one anyway. I'm going to kick it off to this left side here. Let's go up to here and stick it on the top here. Stop. Oops. Here we are. We've moved it from the edge of the green there, or just on the front bit of the green, up to this area. Now, if we look at a side view, I'm not sure how this is coming out, but we've got a big slope down here. And I'm thinking, forget all that because we're not going to be chipping anywhere near here. This is quite moist, this area, so it's going to stop quick. This now goes over the top. There's a bit of a hump, it goes up and over. Just trying to like show you all my workings out. The slope is sloping this way a little bit, so it could kick that way just a little bit. And I'm thinking, because there's a very tight lie up there, so I need to be quite aggressive with it. I think it's going to check a little bit because of that lie, so I'm going to land it. There's a little bit of a hump here actually, so I'm probably going to land it this far up with a view to it running out the last 10 foot or so. And my miss area, because it's sloping this way, I'd like to be maybe around this area. If I'm missing, that'll be the best putt to miss. So I've got all these things in my brain as I'm hitting the shot, amazingly. Obviously I don't walk up and talk about it, but these are the things I'm thinking. I'm trying to sort of let you know the things that are going on as we go, because it's a bit more to think about than you imagine. Now with all these shots, I'll talk about it in a minute, but every shot so far, every chip shot, I've used my Vokey 60-degree wedge. It's the way I like to play chip shots. Here we go. I've got to carry it at least half the way. I've got an idea of my height. It's a very tight lie, so I need to be quite aggressive with it. See if we can just get the distance right on this one. Okay, right, so good and bad there. I think because I was so freaked out about the lie, you saw that I kind of got quite steep on that, but it did go the right distance and pretty much run up to like a stone dead tap in. Because of that extra little bit of spin that was on there, it did check it up. But my main thing there was I wanted to be aggressive, because with those tight lies, if you're not confident and put an accelerating like swing stroke on them, you'll duff them or skin them. So you have to try and hit a good shot there. See if I can putt this one in. Let's bump it down there. Problem. I don't want this video to go on and on, so I was level par for the front nine so far. I've got the back nine to go, and I'm going to record the rest of this, and you'll see next week the back nine to see how we got on there. Hopefully there's some more lessons out there and some more ideas. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, so drop me a comment. Anything you like, really, see how we get on. Drop me a comment down below and tell me whether you like this kind of style of video. Hopefully you do. I enjoy doing them. And if you've got any ideas of what you'd like me to do, drop it down there as well, and I'll try my best over the coming weeks to try and do one for you. So see you next week. Give me a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Look forward to next week. See ya.